Come on and take time out and pull up a smile. Slip into something you can enjoy. Sit back and do something nice for yourself. Sharing the feeling with somebody else. Time out for a while. You've got to take time out, get into the action while you're relaxing at home. Sit back and do something nice for yourself. Sharing the feeling with somebody else. Time out for the NBA game of the week.
Today, from the Cold Field House in College Park, Maryland, the New York Knicks tangle with the fast-paced leaders of the Central Division, the Baltimore Bullets, led by the rebounding duo of Wes Unseld and Elvin Hayes. This ABC Sports Exclusive is brought to you by Gillette, makers of the revolutionary razor with two separate blades, the Gillette Track 2 two-bladed shaving system. By the Foundation for Full-Service Banks on behalf of the full-service banks in your community. And by the B.F. Goodrich Tire Company, makers of the Lifesaver Steel Radial Tire. Now, if you want Goodrich, you'll just have to remember Goodrich. Today, we have the wrap-up of the back-to-back series between the probable first-round playoff opponents, Baltimore having defeated New York last night at Madison Square Garden. You're looking at the Eastern Conference standings, and unlike previous years, the team with the best record gets the home court advantage regardless of whether they finish 1 or 2 in their respective divisions. So you see, with 1 playing 4 and 2 playing 3 in the playoffs, which will begin after the regular seasons following March 28th, the New York Knickerbockers, as it stands now, would meet their arch-rival Baltimore in the playoffs. And the Knicks, in the loss column, are leading by 4 or have lost 4 less games. They have 11 games remaining to be played, while the Baltimore Bullets have 15 left to be played here in the NBA. And this is the 6th game in their series that'll be played on the University of Maryland campus. And we're happy to be here. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Chris Schenkel, and happy to be, along with Bill Russell, bringing you the first part of a 3½ hours of sports here on ABC. Our NBA Game of the Week will be followed by American Sportsman, and then it'll be Howard Cosell with another edition of Sports Magazine of Today, looking at the possible solutions to all the problems or questions surrounding amateur athletics, not only here but in the world. Well, we're happy to be back working with the great Bill Russell. Bill, with Baltimore winning last night, where they seldom do, Madison Square Garden, should that change their attitude about the Knicks?
Well, probably, because they probably had the thought that maybe they couldn't win in New York. Now, that helps the attitude in the fact that they think that they went out last night and they really feel that they took the game away from the Knicks and made the Knicks play bad basketball. Now, these two teams are a lot alike. No dominant big man, using big forwards and swift penetrating guards. Now, but the Bullets have to run to win, whereas the Knicks can shoot around the fringes, because for the first 5 or 6, maybe 7 guys, the Knicks are one of the finest shooting teams I think in the history of basketball.
And Bill, only once in the 5 meetings between these two clubs has a team scored a total of 100 points. That was New York. Baltimore never has. And with New York #1 in NBA defense and Baltimore 4th, and with a capacity crowd here rooting mostly for Baltimore, this should be some battle.
Right. I think it's going to be a real defensive struggle, and it's not only a chance, Baltimore has a chance to catch the Knicks in the best record, but they're trying to establish turf, because they know they're going to play each other in the playoffs to start with, and so they're going to bang heads today. It should be probably a good contact game.
Bill, we look forward to your comments this afternoon, and we'll go more into that attitude a little bit later on. Speaking of attitude, many of these professional stars, the superstars of pro basketball, have other interesting hobbies or even professions. In the case of Jerry Lucas of the New York Knickerbockers, all of us know that he has delighted young and old with his magic. He is a great magician. Our player profiles have become very popular with you, so today let's look at Jerry Lucas.
Here you see a regular deck of cards with a blue back. That is, all the cards are the same. Now, it's very easy to put a card on the bottom, and as you can see, all the cards instead of being blue have turned red. And if I turn this around, all the faces of the cards have vanished, and I have spelled my name, Jerry Lucas. As an 8 or 9-year-old, I was quite bored and had a lot of nervous energy, and in my idle time, I was riding an automobile or walking to school and so forth. I started to invent games to play with myself to keep myself occupied. The first of these that I can recall doing was spelling alphabetically, and by that I mean rearranging a word and spelling it back in alphabetical order. That is, chair, for instance, is A-C-H-I-R. Telephone is E-E-E-H-L-N-O-P-T. Basketball is A-A-B-B-E-K-L-L-S-T. Well, I continued to do these things and other things. I did things you wouldn't believe. I counted and memorized a number of cracks from my home to school and the sidewalk. I even got to the point where I started counting the number of broken paint strips in highways, and I found that there are 132 paint strips for every mile on every road in the country, except in a couple of states. California has 200 and some, and Kansas 108. I got interested in magic, and at that point I began to devour and read everything I could about it. When I got into college, John Havlicek was my roommate, and John was very concerned about me because he studied a lot more than I did, and I studied very little actually, but I knew what I was doing because I was using my system. But I took the exams, I did very well, and John was quite amazed with this. And then after that point, I started doing these things, the alphabetizing, the memory games, etc., for a lot of other people, and it entered into my sort of my magic act that I did. My interest in magic obviously led me to an interest in youngsters, or vice versa. I love children, and children love magic, so it was a logical hookup. And this led to, when I came to New York, a 3-hour special on the ABC network on magic and music and fun and games and whatnot. And I certainly hope to continue this after my playing days are over. On my next show, I'm going to do some interesting things in magic. I'm going to make elephants disappear. I'm going to cut a lady into 3 pieces, take the middle piece out, put it back, she'll walk away. I'm going to turn myself into a tiger on stage. I'm creating another character, too, called Akgum Edriakalsu, which is alphabetized. Magic is Akgum. Edriakalsu is Jerry Lucas in alphabetical order. So my character is going to be Akgum Edriakalsu, who will be sort of my alter ego. He will be a fumbling magician. He will be a magician who can't do anything right. I may have a split screen. On one side will be myself, Jerry Lucas, doing a trick, maybe putting eggs in a hat and flour and putting it on someone's head and nothing happens. And then Akgum Edriakalsu, on the other hand, on the other side of the screen, will do the same thing and put it on somebody's head, and it'll just flop all over and be a big mess. So Akgum will be the fellow who always messes up in magic, and I will be the person that always does the things properly and right. So these will be 2 of my new characters that I'm developing for my shows, and I think they'll be a lot of fun, they'll be entertaining, and I hope people have some fun with it.
32-year-old Edriakalsu, a native of Middletown, Ohio, an All-American in high school, and, of course, many times at Ohio State. Jerry Lucas of the New York Knickerbockers. Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starting 5 for the visiting New York Knickerbockers. At forward, number 24 from Princeton, 6th-year professional Bill Bradley. Also at forward, number 22 from the University of Detroit, his 11th year, Dave DeBusschere. Starting at center today, number 19 from Grambling, 9th year, Willis Reed. At guard, normally wearing number 15, but today 21 from Winston-Salem, 6th year, Earl Monroe. At guard, number 10 from Southern Illinois, 6th year, Walt Frazier. And the coach of the New York Knickerbockers, Red Holtzman. And here are the Baltimore Bullets. At forward, number 6 from Providence, 4th year, Mike Riordan. At forward, number 11 from Houston, 4th year, Elvin Hayes. Starting center, number 41 from Louisville in his 4th year, Wes Unseld. At guard, number 45 from California, Phil Chenier. The other guard, number 21 from the University of Minnesota, 6th year, Archie Clark. And the head coach of the Baltimore Bullets, Gene Shue. So we'll return to College Park, Maryland for the tip-off after this message. The New York Knicks and the Baltimore Bullets played last night. Here are the two officials. Number 6 is Don Murphy of the NBA, and Paul Mihalik, number 22, on the far side of the court. Baltimore winning last night 97-75. Hayes and Reed, up it goes for grabs, and it's Earl Monroe, former Bullet, wearing 21 today, and 22, Dave DeBusschere. Hey, and the Knicks lead. The Knickerbockers behind Boston in their division. Here are the Baltimore Bullets in the white, orange, and blue, who have already clinched their divisional title. This is Archie Clark, number 21, guarded by Monroe. Elvin Hayes, beautiful. Elvin Hayes, 15th in scoring, 21 points, average per game. Getting the first field goal for Baltimore as the Knicks have it. This is Walt Frazier, number 10. Over Chenier. Perfect shooting, Bill. We're 3 for 3.
I think they're going to have it. It's going to be a shootout. Now, these two teams are very good defensively, and those are tough shots they're making. I don't think that either team wants to continue just making those kind of shots.
Chenier, who had 18 points against the Knickerbockers last night, puts Baltimore into a tie with New York 4-4. Dave DeBusschere guarded by Wes Unseld. Hayes comes over to help number 11 after a Reed pick. Now it's Earl Monroe. Don't forget he's wearing 21 today, and Bill Russell has the full story on why. We'll give it to him his first chance. And 2 for 2, Walt Frazier of Southern Illinois. Why is Earl Monroe wearing number 21, Bill?
Well, Earl washed his own jersey Friday night. Can you imagine a millionaire wash his own jersey? Anyway, he hung it out to dry in his apartment laundry room, and somebody stole it. And nobody's missed. Each team is shooting 3 for 3. This is a pretty good percentage to start a game. And no close ones. I think the closest shot's been about 17 feet.
Perfect shooting thus far as we have a tie game at 6. First missed shot, that by Bill Bradley, number 24. As the tap comes back out to Clark. Clark of Baltimore, number 21, guarded by Monroe. Into the corner to Hayes. Hayes guarded by Reed. DeBusschere with the rebound. Off to Reed. Reed, who played for the first time in 7 games last night, finds the range. Willis Reed, number 19. Last night he had 8 points and 10 rebounds. Burned the instep of his left foot by using the ointment that he used on his left knee, which apparently is okay now. What shooting.
His knee must be pretty tough, and his ankle must be pretty tender.
Yes. Baltimore arriving because of weather last night, 12:30 a.m. The Knicks at 2 a.m. So after a battle at the Garden in New York, here they are again, and that just gives you an idea of just what a tough schedule these professional basketball players have. We have an 8-8 tie with 9:20 to go in the first quarter here at the University of Maryland campus, Cole Fieldhouse. And it goes to Riordan. And the former Knickerbocker. Beautiful hook shot. 4 points. 2 for 2 from the field as we get an outside weave with Bradley and Frazier. Reed has it now. Back to Frazier, number 10. Look at him jam up the right side of the lane. Beautiful moves by Frazier. Robbed of a field goal. Let's see the move by the last bucket by Riordan.
Perfect pass. He timed it perfect, and he took the move without hesitation. Now, both these teams are shooting a fantastic percentage to start the game, but they'll both end up probably shooting around 50%, so that they're gonna have to miss a few. But the Bullets are going to have to run.
Chenier, there's the running to Clark. Bradley had stayed back defensively with Hayes. As Frazier gets the ball, he gives it to DeBusschere. DeBusschere driving on Unseld. Passes off to Monroe, number 21. The 5th tie of the ball game with 8:12 to go, first quarter, 10-10.
Now, both these teams are very, very intense. They're both concentrating very well, very, very hard, because this is a very important game. If the Bullets win it, then the Knicks are only 3 up in the loss column, and the Bulls could catch them and get that home court advantage.
The season ends March 28th, then into the playoffs. In the first round, the best-of-7 series. Numbers 1 and 4 play. Numbers 2 and 3 go against each other. ABC, of course, will be doing We'll be doing prime-time playoff games, and we look forward to that as Willis Reed rebounds for New York, gives off to Earl Monroe. And this is sort of
laundromat.
Yes, this is a crowd, Bill. Isn't it unusual? It's about half and half Knicks fans and half Bullet fans.
Which is kind of unusual. You would expect that there would be more Bullet fans, but it seems like everybody's left New York. It's still every place you go, they got fans.
And of course, many New York natives go to the University of Maryland here. As we look at Archie Clark, who went to Minnesota. Providence College's Riordan passes into Louisville's Unseld. And a foul is spotted by Don Murphy. Paul Mahalik is the other official here. Let's see it again.
Now West was using his body to get between, and Dave is pushing with his hips.
That's his second foul, Bill, early in the game. So with 6:59 to go in the first quarter, it's 12-12.
And next Saturday, March the
Scores of last night's games played in the NBA. Baltimore defeating New York 97-75. Seattle over Detroit 115-113. Atlanta 136. Houston 125. Chicago 117. Golden State 116. The two officials, Paul Mahalik and Don Murphy, officiated the Atlanta game. And here's one of the coaches that occasionally tries to officiate, Red Holtzman of the New York Knickerbockers.
But he does with a soft voice.
Yes. Sort of like the Bill Russell of the Celtic coaching days. Wes Unseld at the line. Only 6'7", but what a competitor and athlete.
You know, you realize, you look at this game, and the score is 13-12. They were in 6 minutes, approximately. And these teams are shooting about 75% or 80% almost, and they still haven't scored that much. That's because the defense is so good, they're concentrating.
The Knicks first in defense in the NBA. Baltimore fourth. Baltimore with the ball. Chenier, number 45. 21 is Clark, guarded by number 10, Frazier. Riordan, guarded by Bradley, 24. Riordan, number 6. DeBusschere really leaning on Unseld, who gets the ball now. Look at them push. Wow. 24 seconds. Don't see that too often.
That was a direct result of good defense, though. The Knicks are playing very good defense, and they're trapping sometimes. In other words, when I said trapping, I mean that they're double teaming. The guy will they try to get a guy back into a corner, then 2 guys get on him real quick. But it's only a momentary thing. You can get on him real quick. If you don't get the ball, then you go back to your man so that he doesn't have an outlet pass.
The outlet pass by Unseld to Hayes. Pace slowed down, but Riordan drives, penetrating. Out it comes. Hayes tapping it to Clark of Baltimore. Baltimore trailing by 1. Now they lead by 2. Beautiful timing by Unseld, and he'll go to the foul line. Let's see it again.
Right through the middle there. Now you got to remember, Wesley Unseld's about 6'7", 6'8", about 250, and a lot of guys think he ought to be in the NFL instead of here.
I bet he'd be great there too. Unseld 5th in the NBA on rebounds, averaging 16, 8th in field goal percentage, 50%. At the foul line, Willis Reed committed the foul, his first. DeBusschere has 2 personals for New York. And now the Bullets lead by 2, 16-14.
When you consider that Unseld and Hayes both are in the top 10 in the league in rebounding, that's a pretty good indication that they're playing pretty good defense, and they're not giving too many second shots.
Now Dave DeBusschere found the range from a spot in the corner. 7th tie of the game with 5:40 to go in the first quarter. All this from Maryland, College Park.
right here. Chicken.
Out of bounds call there across the end line, so the Knickerbockers take it over. The guards are 21 today. Monroe, number 10, Frazier. 24, Bradley, cut across the top of the key, but Monroe gets the ball, gives to DeBusschere. DeBusschere misses, but is fouled on the play.
And that foul was a direct result of playing without the ball. What Dave DeBusschere did was went to the weak side, which is away from the ball. Gave his man a fake like he's going toward the foul line. He went toward the baseline underneath the bucket. And to time it so his man is a half a step around him when he gets around the pick. The pick being set by Willis Reed. He ran his man into Willis Reed as he came back to try to get a shot underneath. And that's why he was fouled. Playing without the ball.
Dave DeBusschere now makes the Knicks the leader by a score of 17-16 with 5:20 to go in the first quarter. Baltimore with the ball. Chenier, number 45. Here is Archie Clark to Wes Unseld. Over DeBusschere. DeBusschere's defense helping force Unseld to be really off the mark.
We got double team Unseld there. That's what the Knicks are doing. They're double teaming whenever possible.
Bradley has it back to Frazier. Frazier guarded by Riordan now. Around comes Monroe. Chenier knocks it away. Here are the Bullets. Mike Riordan. Clark ahead of him. Clark trips. The ball is not lost out of bounds. New York has it.
I think Clark thinks he got tripped by somebody else.
I sort of agree with him. Baltimore now with 4 turnovers. New York 1. New York leading 17-16. Reed. Hayes switching off to guard Bradley. DeBusschere over the screen. Beautiful.
Now the Knicks are working to get that type of shot because they have great shooters that can shoot from 15 to 17 feet. But they still have to go to the basket. If they don't, they end up not getting good offensive position and not any offensive rebounds. So that you see Frazier sometimes, mostly Frazier and Monroe doing the penetrating.
Last basket by
penetrating.
Spinning jump shot. Good penetration, wasn't it? Over Hayes. Hayes had scored the last bucket. Frazier now has 8 points. Last night he scored 22 against Baltimore at the Garden in New York.
Now the Bullets are walking up, and that's a bad sign because they are so much better when they run.
5 turnovers, and DeBusschere.
Now they're walking it up, and they're walking away from the game if they're going to walk up. They have to run.
DeBusschere with last 4 shots, he's made them. He now has 9 points for the Knicks, who lead 23-18. Chenier, beautiful.
That wasn't bad for a team that walked down.
Earl Monroe.
But to consistently play well, the Bullets have to run.
Let's look at Chenier's drive to the hoop as Gene Shue is off the bench.
And that's a tough effort. See, now he's dribbling left-handed. He's a right-handed player. He's taking it up, and he's going to shoot it right-handed. And really is a tough shot. That is a tough shot because you're rotating away from the normal shooting procedure.
Dave DeBusschere is 1 for 3 at the foul line. He was fouled by Unseld, who now has 2 personals. 24-20 New York.
And I noticed that DeBusschere is guarding Unseld rather than Willis Reed. Willis Reed's guarding Elvin Hayes.
All right, there's DeBusschere trying to help out on Clark.
Trying is right because he's tough.
Monroe. Unseld trying to get that release quickly, but Reed was there to intimidate him. Now we have Riordan giving back to Clark. Clark guarded by Bradley.
And New York is doing a good job of taking away the Baltimore pass break by choking off that lead pass.
Hit the open man. That was Monroe.
Now the Bullets, as I say, are walking the ball up, and for them this is a bad sign because they have to run.
Archie Clark, number 21, given some room by Monroe. Riordan closely guarded by Bradley. Finally gets away. Has it. Hayes guarded by Reed along the lane. DeBusschere on the rebound. And the Knicks are moving. Frazier. No one there to rebound except Hayes, Riordan, and Unseld. So the Bullets have it. Clark, 21, bouncing to Chenier. Walt Frazier couldn't control it. So we have 1:58 to go in the first quarter. Let's again watch Archie Clark penetrating.
That's going to the basket.
So the
And
New York
rolled out.
Knickerbockers in the first quarter have a 26-22 lead. We'll be back after this message from one of our sponsors. We're in Baltimore. Other games today in the NBA. Milwaukee at Houston, 2:55 start. Buffalo at Boston tonight at 8. Chicago at Phoenix, 2 this afternoon. And Cleveland at Los Angeles tonight at 7 o'clock. Right now, it's the Knicks in the lead, and this week there are some key games of special interest to you fans. Get out and see them if you can. Chicago at Milwaukee, Tuesday, March 6th at 8 p.m. New York at Philadelphia, Wednesday, March 7th at 8:05 p.m. And Boston at Los Angeles, Friday, March 9th at 8 p.m. And we'll be in Boston next Sunday for the New York Knickerbocker Boston Celtic game, and that'll be fun, Bill, to do that game a week from today. Jerry Lucas, the magician, has come into the game as Bill Bradley and Wes Unseld. Ooh, you talk about.
No, Wesley did a good job acting there. He's up for Emmy, too. Oh, yeah. As big and strong
Bill's
as he
not
is,
that strong, right?
Listen, no, Bradley bounced off of him.
Here it is. We can't do it right now to show you a replay of the shoving as Archie Clark has the ball. It was a foul on Bradley. Baltimore hitting 58%. New York get the 77%. Unseld over DeBusschere. DeBusschere rebounds. Frazier, number 10. If you just joined us, we have 1:30 to go in the first quarter. Rebound comes off to Frazier. What a player. One of my favorites. 5 for 7. He has 10 points as we look at Archie Clark guarded by Monroe. This is Hayes, Elvin Hayes, number 11, guarded by Jerry Lucas, number 32. Jerry must have put some of his magical whammy on that shot because it went in and came out.
Now, Hayes normally would turn the other way to shoot the shot, but he turned this way. He normally turns the other way for his favorite shot is turning the other way. And when a guy's playing good defense on you, it makes you do things that you don't want to do. That's why the shot came close but didn't go in. You see, when you throw a guy off defensively, it's not necessarily blocking a shot or making it miss by a lot. It's making it miss just a little bit. Now, Hayes likes to turn the other way. Lucas took that away, and he had to turn the opposite way he liked to. So he broke a habit that he has. And so that's why the shot went in and out. It's come so close, but that's all it takes, just a little bit. It's still a missed shot.
Elvin Hayes, one of the big men, hitting 2 for 2 at the foul line. Comes back to the opposite end of the court now with a score 28-24, coming up to the 1-minute mark first quarter. Bradley feeding DeBusschere. Stan Love is in the ball game for Baltimore, number 13. Boy, he isn't superstitious. Off it goes to Archie Clark, number 21. Unseld is getting a rest for the first time in the game. Chenier, number 45, who directed Love to go into the lane. Outside it was Hayes, back to Chenier. Monroe with the rebound. There's Love passing him by, picking up Dave DeBusschere in the corner. DeBusschere on a move. Beautiful. And a feed from Monroe.
And he hurt himself.
Stan Love didn't know where he was.
Dave DeBusschere hurt something. I think it's his hip.
Yes, he's in pain. Dave DeBusschere to the right with 12 points is pulled up short. No basket. We have an injury timeout. As Bill pointed out, DeBusschere had pulled up short. Let's see it again. Danny Whalen right there administering to him.
Now he went up with a shot. It's a tough shot. Let's see how it came. Oh, that's where he hurt it. It came down on that foot, and that. And as you can see, he'll pull up here.
New York Knicks lineup, replacing Dave DeBusschere.
That's smart. I've had that kind of. It's like the joint, like it's want to jump out of socket.
Oh, it's gotta hurt. He's over there limbering up his right leg on the bench as his teammates have it. Frazier. Now Jerry Lucas, as Phil Jackson has taken DeBusschere's place. He's along the lane, wearing number 18 on the blue jersey, and Hayes on Frazier commits the foul. DeBusschere now walking along the New York Knickerbocker bench. Danny Whalen was walking him along, and now he looks as though he's going to have him sit down once again.
Now they'll probably put a little ice on it, and he may be able to play again today. It's one of those kind of things that hurt just a very short time. Now where he hurt is when he came down, and he jarred the joint. There, right there at the hip. There, it's almost like it's jarring it loose.
Frazier made the foul shots. He has 12 points. DeBusschere has 12 also as we come to the end of the first quarter with the New York Knickerbockers leading by 8, 32-24. We'll be back for the second quarter in a minute. Favorite calls of the over 19,000 that jam Madison Square Garden when the Knicks play is defense, Bill.
Right, well, defense really comes to aid in a game like today. Both teams have to be a bit tired. They played a tough game last night, and they're here this afternoon. So that defense is a thing that if you work hard, your timing doesn't have to be that good. The natural things don't have to fall into place. You can just work hard at it, and if you do the fundamental things, you can stay in a ball game. And so both these teams are good defensive teams.
Talk about a beautifully timed, highly arched shot. Lucas did it.
The result of good defense is that you see spectacular shots because you have to make spectacular shots to get them off. I mean, you can't just shoot your normal shots because the guys are playing good defense. Now, the Knicks, I noticed, will put pressure on the ball, and the minute the guy gets rid of it, they get back and help each other out. Now, the Knicks are running more than the Bullets are, and they don't have to. But what they're doing is trying to get up and get the shot before the Bullet defense can set up. Now, we got Hayes on Frazier, so that means that Reed has somebody little. And so that these are kind of mismatches you want to get. And as I've said many times, that some people think if you get a big guy and a little guy, the thing to do is to get the ball to the big guy inside. That's not necessarily true, because a guard like Frazier has just as good a chance of making a shot over a guy like Hayes outside as the big guy does taking the ball inside. Plus, you have eliminated the 3-second or the chance of an offensive foul, the big guy running over the little guy, because the referees usually like to call that.
All right, Bill, that was Phil Jackson's third foul. Archie Clark. 5:40 to go, first half, 44-37. Clark with 6 points. Heminger driving on Clark.
You know, this is interesting, Chris, is that the Bullets are a very, very young team. They're one of the younger teams in the NBA. I think that Archie Clark is the only one 30 or over. And that's not bad. You know, they got Riordan is under 30, I'm pretty sure. Hayes, Unseld. They got Phil Chenier, only 22. Kevin Porter, their first substitute, 21-22. You go right down the bench, and they're a young ball club.
Probably the oldest ones would be Tresvant and Flynn Robinson.
Oh, yes. Tresvant, I had to give him, before the game, I had to give him a greeting from one of his old classmates, my father.
Yeah. You needle him pretty good. Good he's not a little taller and bigger. Okay, Archie Clark, the Bullets. Unseld rebounding. Bradley tapping it away. Who's back in the Knick lineup. Frazier guarded by Riordan. There's a confrontation. Willis Reed to Bradley. Open. Ooh. Chenier, 45. Up left pass to Clark.
And the Bullets are starting to run again.
Gene Shue off the bench on the far side as we have about 5:10 to go, first half, 45-37.
Now, Archie Clark is, he gets him running because he likes to get the ball up fast. And if they can, the young guys like Chenier and Porter, when they're in there, they have a tendency to forget, you know, and to make sure that you don't make mistakes, you see. And trying to avoid mistakes, they tend to walk the ball up.
There's Dick Barnett, a real veteran, taking Bill Bradley's place. Bradley has 3 personal fouls. So the Knick lineup, 7 Meminger, 19 Reed, 10 Frazier, 32 Lucas, and 12 Barnett. It's 6 Riordan for Baltimore, 45 Chenier, 21 Clark, 11 Hayes, and Unseld, number 41.
Now, you know, Barnett's a substitute. Here's a guy that has a great attitude. Plus the fact he's probably the smartest basketball player when it comes to the knowledge of the game on the Knickerbocker team. In fact, I think he would make a fine coach.
Just going to ask you that. Will he ever have a chance, you think?
Oh, yes. Probably.
I hope so.
Because he really knows what he's doing out there.
A little physical there on the part of Elvin Hayes.
You know, he comes off the bench. He's a guy that started for many, many years. He comes off the bench, never complains. You know, it's one of those attitudes that you have to be a substitute. It's what I always call a professional attitude.
At the line, number 12, Dick Barnett. He went to Tennessee State. He did not play last night.
You want to hear something interesting about Dick Barnett? When he started in the pros, he had not graduated from college. He has 4 units to go to get a PhD. Now, when he started in the league, he didn't graduate. He hadn't graduated from college in his class. I think when he left Tennessee, he was about a sophomore or junior in his grades. You know, in his class standings with the academic requirements. And now he's 4 units away from his PhD.
Hope some of the youngsters hearing that, Bill, will take note. That takes dedication.
Well, no, I mean, a lot of guys don't graduate. And here's a guy that didn't graduate with his class and has since went on to educate himself.
Jerry Lucas making the last field goal with 6 points. Elvin Hayes has it for Baltimore over Reed. And tough defense. In fact, too much. Reed shoves Hayes, and he'll go to the foul line. There's Willis Reed, who played last night for the first time in 7 games, was the starter here today, and you see the harness on his left knee. His problem now is not the knee, it's the ointment that he used on the knee, which apparently got on the instep of the same leg on the foot, and that's burned him a little bit too much. Did you ever have that happen, Bill?
Yes, he was trying to do a little home remedy there. I told him today that's rookie stuff that you go around and hurt yourself at home. I said, you're supposed to know better than that.
All right, here's number 10, Walt Frazier, guarded by Riordan. Elvin Hayes has 10 points now for Baltimore as we're coming up to the 4-minute mark of the first half, 47-41 New York. Barnett, Chenier guarding him. Lucas guarded by Unseld. Frazier. What a beautiful shooting motion with that hand. The form is almost perfect, isn't it, Bill? Frazier?
Always on balance. Quick hands. You know, he's bigger than most guards, too, because he's a tall 6'4", or maybe a short 6'5".
Walt Frazier, who likes pretty cars, pretty girls, and winning basketball. Frazier's first personal, so it'll be Chenier going to the foul line. Chenier last night with 18 points, helping in the Baltimore 97-75 victory. First free throw good with 3:41 to go in the first half. 49-42, 49-43. The end of the first quarter, the Knicks led 32-24. Clark.
Archie Clark is putting pressure on Memminger. Now, Memminger is not a very good outside shooter. And so you would normally ask, well, why would he put pressure on Memminger way outside? Well, because Memminger is running the offense. He's setting everybody up. And you got to make that pass a tough pass. So that he can't give the guys the ball wherever they want it when they play without the ball. Yes, that was a good call because he did jump in. See, the defensive man was really no position to do anything because he's up in the air. Now, if Barnett had gone straight up, he might have gotten the foul, but he jumped in just to make sure.
Earl Monroe getting ready to come in for the New York Knicks. Frazier trying to steal it. He does. Barnett way ahead, but covered by Riordan. So it goes to Reed in the lane. Reed up and in.
If you notice Walt Frazier's, when he bring the ball up, Memminger was down and had the lead on the break, but he wasn't looking at the ball. See, he was just running without looking. And you should always know where the ball is. Memminger was running with his head down, and Frazier was yelling to him because he had a chance for a layup.
The only time to keep your head down is in golf, right, Bill?
That's the way I play it. That was some move there.
Walt Frazier. He has 18 points already today for the New York Knicks, 53-45. Let's see Frazier's last move.
Now he beats Chenier. He has him here, gets him past, gets him out of it. Now he's got to go by, and he goes between Chenier and Hayes, which was a pretty good move, I guess.
Season ticket information card.
Don't forget, later today, award-winning American Sportsman, 4:15 Eastern, 3:15 Central, 4 Pacific, as Dancing Harry has a little speed here in Maryland at Cole Fieldhouse. And American Sportsman will be followed by the Howard Cosell Sports Magazine show. And, Bill, that should be another interesting episode by Mr. Cosell talking about the problems of amateur athletics.
You think he was ever an amateur athlete?
Beg your pardon?
You think Howard was ever an amateur athlete?
Willis Reed, number 40, John Gianelli.
Gianelli. John Gianelli from the University of Pacific, rookie, is in the New York lineup. Number 40. Elvin Hayes is guarding him, and he's giving him a little early treatment, sort of shoving him.
Yes, that's let him know that, hey, I'm out here.
Yeah, good afternoon. Monroe's shot is rebounded by Unseld. Unseld to Mike Riordan. Riordan gives to Chenier, passing by and shooting. Minute 58 remaining in the first half. Chenier now with 10 points. He's guarding Memminger.
So far, the difference in this game has been the fact that Baltimore has not ran fast break. Other than that, they're playing pretty good ball, but they're playing, you might say, out of the element. Because the Knicks are not outplaying them that much. The Bullets are not running.
There's one of our heroes scoring, Bill. Dick Barnett.
Well, see, I like Dick Barnett because it's nice to see somebody my age still out there doing it.
He told me you were older.
No, he may be 6 months, a year older than me.
Oh, okay. Mike Riordan for the Baltimore Bullets. 12 points for Mike. Meminger of New York. Coming up to the 1 minute mark, Lucas from 30 feet. Bill Chenier. Beautiful. A Bill Russell type left-handed hook shot.
I've never seen anything like that.
12 points. 5 for 7 from the field. Goaltending, says Red Holtzman. Jerry Lucas puts it in.
That's not all he said either.
35 seconds remaining. First half, 57-51. New York leading. They're in blue. Baltimore with the predominantly white uniform. Riordan 6. Round Hayes 11. Here comes Clark. Clark killing a little clock time. With 6 seconds of the 24-second clock. He makes it now. 13 seconds left in the first half.
He ran Dean Meminger into Wesley Unseld 3 times in that one play, and that's smart.
Chenier guarding Monroe. Final shot coming up. Whoops. Jerry Lucas commits a foul. And Red Holtzman is off the deck again. I should say off the chair.
Yes, he's off, as he should have been.
So the ball will go to the opposite end, and Unseld will shoot slightly to the left of center at the foul line. In 5 meetings this year, New York has topped 100 points once. Baltimore not at all. Baltimore has won 2 of the 5 games played. But both teams a little more than enough to go over the 100 mark as we approach halftime. 1 second left on the clock. 57-54, and Unseld makes it 57-55. Long to Meminger. Stolen by Chenier, and time has gone in the first half. That's the end of the first half. We'll return with halftime activities here at Cole Fieldhouse in College Park, Maryland, right after this message and a word from our local stations.
Dave DeBusschere's not going to play the second half. They're going to x-ray his hip when they get back to New York. But I think out of good judgment and common sense, they're not taking any chances because they got to try to get him ready for the playoffs because they pretty much established the fact they are in the playoffs. And it's better to take the time and make sure he's healthy when they start really playing down to the crunch.
For New York, it's Bradley, 24. 21 today is Earl Monroe. 10 is Frazier. 19 is Willis Reed. 32 Jerry Lucas. While for Baltimore, 41 is Wes Unseld. 45 is Chenier. 6 is Mike Riordan. 21 is Clark. And 11 is Elvin Hayes. Dave DeBusschere did not even come out of the Knickerbocker dressing room. He's probably dressed and perhaps flying back ahead of the team. 11-12 remaining in the third quarter. New York leading 57-55. No scoring yet here in the second half. Monroe into Willis Reed. Beautiful.
What happened, the 2 guys cut off of him, and he faked to both of them, and the defensive men all reacted. So they left him by himself because the big guy has to back off to help out when those guys are crisscrossing off the center.
Willis Reed with 8 points today, guarding Hayes at the moment, knocking the ball away and also holding.
Part of it, almost like the way part of Elvin's arm too.
Third personal on Willis Reed. The Knickerbockers, Jackson with 3, Bradley with 3, while Baltimore not in foul trouble. Just received word that Dave DeBusschere will fly back to the team for x-rays of a hip. This year against New York in the 5 previous games, Unseld and Hayes Unseld has scored 14 points a game, Hayes 16. Unseld has had 15 rebounds, Hayes 13. That's quite a duo that Bill talked at length about prior to the start of the game. They're in the lineup, but can't stop Monroe's shot of New York. 8 points for Earl as it's 61-56. Monroe guarding Archie Clark. Long pass into Hayes. Oh, what a spinning jump shot. 11 points now for Elvin, Hayes, Monroe, and Frazier outside. This is Lucas. Oh, and nearly tore the nets off. Ten points for the magician, Jerry Lucas. Unseld comes off with the ball. Willis Reed quickly to Monroe. Unseld. Baltimore running. Clark. Riordan.
When the Bullets run, they're in pretty good shape. They get the good shots and their timing is good. But when they, as I've said so many times before, what you try to do against the Bullets is cut off that outlet pass and make sure they bring the ball up slowly. Then you can play with it. But they have to run, though. They are tough.
Unseld with another rebound. Clark has it for the Bullets. Clark slowing down play for the moment, guarded by Monroe. 63-60 New York. Third quarter. About 9 minutes to go. Unseld cross-court pass to Riordan, but it was hard. He is 6 for 8 from the field. He has a total of 16 points, or rather he's 8 of 10. Bradley. That was the first field goal by Bill Bradley today, as the Baltimore Bullets have called for a timeout. We have 8 minutes and 41 seconds remaining in the third quarter. New York leading 65-62 in Maryland. C Sports proud to bring you this NBA basketball game from the campus of the University of Maryland today, with the Knicks leading by 1, 6:42 to go in the third quarter. Next Sunday, our NBA game will originate at Boston Garden. We look forward to that meeting between the Celtics and the New York Knickerbockers, 1-2 in their division. So the battle goes on for the Eastern Conference and Western Conference, and a reminder of games tonight: Buffalo at Boston, Chicago at Phoenix, Cleveland at Los Angeles, Detroit at Portland. On ABC today, it'll be American Sportsman following this telecast, and then Howard Cosell's Sports Magazine show. And times are different on the West Coast, so you viewers, check your time and station. Archie Clark of the Baltimore Bullets. 25 minutes ago, Baltimore led 16-13. Now they trail by 1. Riordan has the ball, guarded by Lucas. Into Clark. Clark around Monroe. Double team. Saved by Hayes, number 11. Lucas on the rebound. To Frazier, to Reed, to Monroe. Well, a big man was in the middle.
That was some great passing. And Walt Frazier set the whole thing up, the behind-the-back pass to Reed, and right away he passed to Monroe underneath. And he got fouled by Archie Clark. So it's a three-point play.
Earl Monroe now with 11 points for the Knicks, 70-66, coming up to the 6-minute mark, third quarter. Phil Chenier, number 45. Lucas with another rebound. Jerry filling in beautifully for the injured Dave DeBusschere. To what extent we don't know, as x-rays will be taken when he gets back to New York. Chenier stealing it. 70-68. Chenier. A press now put on by Baltimore. Frazier has it. He and Monroe will break it. Earl the Pearl. 72-68. Monroe now coming on strong. 7 points in this quarter. He has a total of 13.
You know, Earl has made a tremendous adjustment in moving away from Baltimore. He has to completely alter his style, and it takes a great amount of confidence to make the change the way he did it, from a high scorer to a guy that doesn't score very much, but plays altogether different ball game. You have to have a tremendous amount of confidence in your ability to be able to make that adjustment because, you know, if he had believed that the only thing he could do was score, then he wouldn't have been able to make the adjustments. And he has made a tremendous adjustment in that he doesn't shoot nearly as much. He has to play team ball. He doesn't do as much one-on-one. He still has the ability, but the team he plays for calls for a different type of game, and he's made that. So some people had worried about would he be able to play on a team-oriented situation like the Knickerbockers.
In other words, you'd tab him with the same word as you did Barnett earlier, that he's a professional.
Right.
Riordan. Lucas comes off with the ball to Monroe, whom Bill was talking about, number 21 today. 7th rebound by Lucas. Reed around Unseld. Hayes blocks it. Elvin Hayes. What an athlete. One of the superstars in last Sunday's show here on ABC.
There were no superstars on that show.
How many?
None.
Goaltending on Willis Reed. So Unseld gets credit for the field goal, and he has a total of 10 points now as Lucas from way out. And a battle under the basket between Unseld and Reed. We told you a while ago that Reed did the goaltending, got the goaltending call. Right now it's a foul on Unseld, and it's going to be inbounded by Frazier to Earl the Pearl. He's looking for jersey number 15. Who'd want to steal a basketball jersey? Willis Reed now with 10 points. Coming up to 3.5-minute mark, third quarter, 74-70. You just joined us, 32-24 at the end of the first quarter, 57-55 at halftime. New York leading. Unseld stealing it away. Lucas again. Getting great position around the bucket to pull him down. 8th rebound for Lucas. Most of them coming here in the second half. Hayes. Clark, 21. Lucas again to Walt Frazier. Willis Reed up ahead. Frazier slowing it down because he wanted to call timeout. First getting into his attacking zone. Then he could inbound the ball there when play is resumed with 2:53 to go. Third quarter, 74-7. Bill and I'll be back in a minute. 2 minutes, 53 seconds remaining in the third quarter, 74-70. The Knicks leading, and this is the 6th and final regular season game between the Knicks and the Baltimore Bullets. And they have been rivals the last several years. New York with 20 losses and Baltimore with only 24. In fact, speaking of losses, as we look at the Knickerbockers, New York has lost only 4 games at Madison Square Garden, one being the loss to Baltimore last night. What a fantastic record at home. 51-20 overall, Baltimore 43-24. Unseld and Willis Reed. Their statistics up to this point. We mentioned Lucas on rebounds. He has a total of 8. He has 7 in this quarter. He's now guarded by Elvin Hayes as Bill Bradley's shot rebounded by Unseld. Unseld to Clark. Chenier, Riordan, and Hayes make up the Baltimore lineup. It's Lucas, Reed, Bradley, Monroe, and Frazier for New York. Reed to Frazier. Unseld long to Clark. Wes Unseld. Within 2 now as Unseld has 12 points. Monroe to Bradley. Reed.
Frazier makes it look easy.
Earl Monroe, 15 points for Earl. So in the backcourt, you've got Monroe, 15, 9 in this quarter, and Frazier, number 10, has, let's see, a total of 22 points. Frazier, number 10. Monroe. Reed. Blocked by Unseld. Good defense. Quick release to Clark. Chenier. Clark. 76-74. New York. Seconds left in the third quarter. Baltimore can tie it up if they can move up court and get a field goal. The last tie was 16-16. Bradley and Gene Shue is off the bench. Kevin Porter is going to come into the Baltimore lineup. Archie Clark getting a rest.
Now what Kevin Porter will do or can do is penetrate. The Bullets haven't been penetrating or running, and maybe they can do one or the other, because if they do that, they can pull away.
Hayes, a long pass to Porter.
Good defensive play by Walt Frazier.
Lucas to Bradley, and the buzzer ending the third quarter here at Cole Fieldhouse in College Park, Maryland. So the big fourth quarter coming up. We'll take a pause for about a minute with the score: New York 76, Baltimore 74. Back again in Baltimore. This is one of the Baltimore Bullet photographers.
There
Just took your picture, pal.
Yeah, you want to get the picture taken.
That's right. Here we go, fourth quarter, 76-74, New York leading. Hayes and Lucas giving it their all, but Baltimore controls it. Tiny Kevin Porter, a rookie, to Chenier, 45. Records of these two teams against each other: 3 for New York, 2 for Baltimore. And did Porter do a nice little move. 8th tie of the game, 76 all. Bradley.
Kevin Porter went underneath, penetrated the bucket like I expected that he would do.
Bill Jackson in the lineup, number 18, along with number 10, Frazier, 24, Bradley. Frazier gets it. Lucas, 32. Meminger, number 7. For Baltimore at the start of the fourth quarter, it's 10 Porter, 45 Chenier, 6 Riordan, 11 Hayes, and 41 Unseld.
That's a great pass. Frazier went for the steal, and then Chenier penetrated, and they had to be picked up, and made a great pass.
14 points and 14 rebounds. A steal by Little Porter. Look at that tiny little guy. And it's going to be Baltimore's ball. Jeff Porter on the far side. He's nearly as short as referee Don Murphy. Right now, Chenier must have caught an elbow in the midsection. May have. There he is. Here are the third quarter statistics. New York shooting is off a little bit in the field, up a little bit at the free throw line.
Right. They're having a rough time at the foul line. 55% is not good.
25 in total rebounds for each team. Stan Love has come into the Baltimore lineup, wearing number 13. Number 6 is worn by Riordan and at one time by Bill Russell. Never 13 by Bill Russell. Right, William?
Right.
Jackson faking Love. Hayes to Kev Porter, 6 feet tall. Only by comparison is he tiny. Oh, what a pass. Chenier. No, the little guys put Baltimore ahead, 80 to 78.
Yes, see, they're penetrating and then and making the New York defense commit. But they would, I still think they'd be a lot better if they were running rather than just.
Archie Clark, number 21, returns to the Willis lineup for Bill Chenier.
So with 9:52 to go in the game, Baltimore leads 80 to 78 as Bradley tried to tie it up. It comes off. Jackson knocking it away. Picks it up. Still has trouble. Bradley has it. Lucas battling. Memminger. Hayes gets it. Hayes to Porter. Four fouls on Phil Jackson of the New York Knickerbockers, number 18, as we look at Memminger, number 7. Actually, the foul was on Dean Memminger, number 7, his first. He is guarding Porter, number 10, 21 Clark. Oh.
That penetration.
16 points for Archie Clark. What a young man from the University of Minnesota. Proud of his Gopher basketball team. And Monroe. Here's Clark directing traffic.
And Lucas has hurt himself a little bit.
Yeah. Stan Love has it. Back out to Porter. And Porter charges.
That was a great defensive play by Dean Memminger. Plus, after he got to make sure he got the foul call, he gave a little acting job. But he had great defensive position.
Porter has 4 personals now. Let's see a slow motion of Jerry Lucas hitting the deck to the left. 32 is Lucas. There he goes. Appears to be okay already. The Knickerbockers are in the first half. Lost Dave DeBusschere. Injury to a hip. They'll x-ray it when they get back to New York to see just to what extent they've injured it. We hope not seriously. Memminger, number 7 for the Knicks. Phil Jackson in the lineup along with Jerry Lucas and Walt Frazier. Plus Memminger. Reed is getting ready to come back in. Monroe. Unseld quickly to Clark. Clark saving it. Giving it to Porter. Porter to Riordan. Back out to Clark. Coming up 7 seconds on the 24-second clock. Unseld back outside to Clark. Now it's restarted, so they have 20 seconds in which to shoot. Coming up to the 8-minute mark of the game.
And the Knickerbockers are using 3-guard offense. They're using Memminger, Monroe, and Frazier, which it makes for a small team. And Lucas and Phil Jackson. That's a small team the Knickerbockers have out there. Very small team.
Jerry Lucas now leaves the lineup, and he injured himself a while ago. Was complaining of a little pain on the bench now. Reed is back in, number 19, as we look at Memminger, 7. Frazier, 10. Guarded by Riordan. Stan Love rebounds. Love from University of Oregon. Second year as a professional. Chenier getting ready to come in for Baltimore. Clark. And the Bullets have extended their lead to 4. 18 points for Clark. Memminger to Earl Monroe. Jackson now has 6 points. In comes Hayes. Love leaves the lineup, and Chenier is in. Love fouled Jackson on the play. It was Love's second foul. Now the Baltimore lineup: Unseld, Clark, Hayes, Chenier, and Riordan. They're starters. For the Knicks, it's Reed, Monroe, Meminger, Jackson, and Frazier. Still the 3-guard team for New York. Knocked away by Meminger, taken by Jackson, back to Meminger. Losing it to Clark. Chenier way ahead, but it goes to Hayes. And the Big E.
That's that old high percentage shot.
15 points for Elvin Hayes. 6 minutes, 45 seconds to go in the game. Jackson for New York. Baltimore leading by 3. Riordan to Clark. Fourth foul on Archie Clark.
And another great defensive play by Dean Meminger. Although he was still moving when the contact was made. Well, he had the right idea anyway.
Baltimore Bullets call for a timeout with 6.5 minutes left in the game, and the Knicks down by 3. Right now, Don Murphy, one of the NBA officials, is getting some smelling salts. It's very warm in here. In fact, Bill, I won't need a sauna tonight or a steam bath. Capacity crowd of over 13,000, and the 2 officials, well, you can just see, they worked hard, and he looks pale. That's from all the pressure.
Oh, sure, right.
That from a former coach, Bill Russell. It is hotter than in here.
Hotter than a what? That's what I thought you said.
A little imagination, right? All right, 86-83, Baltimore leading, coming up 6:10 to go in the game. These are great rivals, Baltimore and New York. And this can be a preview of the first round of the playoffs in the Eastern Conference of the NBA. ABC will be doing 6 first-round playoff games. Excuse me. How many, Jeff Mason? 16 total. 16 total playoff games, many of them prime time. I mentioned Jeff Mason. He's our producer.
Who?
Larry Cam is our director. 17 points now for Riordan, 8 of a field. And the Bullets now lead by 5 with 6 minutes to go. Here's Frazier of New York. Baltimore with its biggest lead on the Knicks, and knocked away by Hayes.
And offensive foul on number 21, Monroe. His third personal.
A foul on Earl Monroe, his 3rd.
Bullet ball.
So let's see, Lucas getting ready to come back in. Meminger as well. Big game for both teams because of the loss column and the new setup in playoffs, where the record determines what teams will play in the first round. In the loss column in particular. Riordan's hook shot, rebounded by Walt Frazier. Ooh. Little bump and go. Lucas 32, Meminger 7. 5 fouls on Archie Clark with 5 minutes, 10 seconds to go.
Now, see, on that play, Frazier pushed more than Monroe did on the other play, and they called just the opposite. You know. And the one thing that the players always say about refereeing is that they don't really care too much how the guy calls them as long as he's consistent. Then you can adjust to it. But if they're going to be inconsistent, then that causes confusion. And this is when guys complain about the referee. And this has not been a overly well refereed game. It's like it hasn't been very good.
24 points today for Frazier, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Now Chenier guarded by Frazier. Riordan guarded by Dick Barnett, number 12. Unseld is guarded by Jerry Lucas, who switches off. Unseld goes for the bucket over Reed. 90-85. Baltimore trying to gain 2 in the loss column, which relates to playoffs coming up in a matter of 2 games, having won last night in New York. Unseld today, 16 points, 16 rebounds. Dick Barnett. 4 points for Barnett.
These two teams will both need tomorrow off. This is a tough game. And if the game last night was anywhere near as tough as this, these guys are going to need some rest, because this has been a tough game all the way, all day.
Well, these two teams have met for the 5th, if they meet again in the first round, will have met for the 5th straight season. And the Knicks have won 3 of the past 4. Baltimore's only victory coming in the Eastern Conference Finals in 1971. So not much love lost between these two when it comes to basketball competition.
Yeah, I think the rivalry really started in '69 when the Bullets finished first and the Knicks beat them 4 straight in the playoffs, and they've been smarting on that about that ever since, you know. So they, I think they'd rather beat the Knicks than anybody.
Baltimore, Chenier, beautiful foul call on Jerry Lucas.
The foul is on number 32, Jerry Lucas. His third personal.
How to penetrate by a hardship case. He goes right in, and what I noticed about Chenier is that he always keeps his eye on the target, no matter what happens. He never took his eye off the bucket. Lucas came and he bumped him, and he hit him, and he kept his eye right on the target.
Always keeps that body too, seemingly on a drive like that between the ball and the defender.
And that's tough sometimes when you got the big guys with long arms, especially.
Lucas to Walt Frazier. Reed fakes up and no good. Foul call on Elvin Hayes, number 11. It's Phil Mahalik. He and Don Murphy officiating. That's the 4th foul on Hayes. Clark has 5. Hayes has 4. New York.
Willis Reed, shooting 2.
Jackson with 4. Well, here's Reed for New York. 11 points for Reed and 9 rebounds. Now New York trails by 4. 3:28 to go in the ball game. New York still has to play Boston twice, including next Sunday's game, which we'll televise, as Clark makes it 95-89. 20 points for Clark. American Sportsman and Howard Cosell follow our telecast here on ABC.
Offensive foul, number 10, Walt Frazier.
Walt Frazier, his 2nd personal. Bill Jackson comes into the lineup, and Lucas leads.
Bill Jackson, number 18, returns to the Knicks lineup for Jerry Lucas.
That's where he got him. That was a good call.
Take time out.
And Riordan did what you're supposed to do after you get bumped to make sure that they don't miss it.
New York Knickerbockers call for a timeout. We'll pause for this message. On the left and on the right, Phil Mahalik, the 2 NBA officials, getting a little smelling salts here, coming out for the final 2 minutes and 53 seconds of the game. It is hot in here. (95-89), the Baltimore Bullets in the lead. The end of our telecast from College Park, Maryland. We'll be bringing you American Sportsman. A chance to watch David Ladd, Maury Wills, and Kurt Gowdy. And then Howard Cosell is on the Sports Magazine. On the West Coast, he will follow our basketball telecast. He'll will be discussing possible solutions to the problems of amateur athletics. Next Saturday, Wide World of Sports, along with the Professional Bowlers Tour, which will originate at Madison Square Garden, the BPAA United States Open. Clark will go to the foul line now. Second personal on Dean Meminger, number 7. Time running out. Knicks trailing by 6, 2:39 to go. .22 points now for Archie Clark with 8 assists. Dean Meminger guarded by Clark. Dick Barnett of the Knicks. .224 to go. Jackson. Frazier. 5 seconds. Shooting clock. Wow. 97-91. Frazier with 24 points. Let's pause 5 seconds to allow our local stations to identify themselves. That's Meminger guarding Archie Clark. You just joined us. Baltimore took the lead here in the 4th quarter, 80-78 on Phil Chenier's 18-foot jumper. And here's the shot to put Baltimore ahead coming up.
Nice little foul there.
Excuse me.
Looks like a halfback coming to the line.
I blew that one. I thought it was going to be a replay of Chenier's shot. Foul, Archie Clark at the line.
Now, the Knickerbockers are just about out of it, but if they're going to get back into it, they're going to have to stop the Bulls from scoring. The Bulls, they can't let the Bulls score anymore, and they got to come down and get a good shot every time. But they can't even let the Bulls can't give another free throw either.
And the Bullets come one game closer to battling for the home court advantage. And the reason we say that so much, last night they won the first time at Madison Square Garden in 6 games. So the Knicks would love to have the home court advantage in playoffs if it's Baltimore.
Great pass by Earl Monroe. He went up to shoot, saw the band free for a better shot in there.
Reed now has 14 points. That's Chenier along with Clark. Chenier's pass to Riordan all alone. The Bullets go over 100 for the first time in 6 games against the Knicks this year. 101-93. Chenier and Hayes battling for the ball.
And that about did it for the Knicks.
Yeah. And the Bullet fans here on the campus of the University of Maryland starting to cheer the home team. Here's Chenier trying to kill some time. Riordan comes off with a rebound. On the clock, 47 seconds. On the shooting clock, 17 seconds. 101-93. The old stall. 103-93. A 10-point lead by the Bullets, who defeated the Knicks last night by 22. 103-95 with 25 seconds left in this game. Chenier, number 45, under to Riordan. And Riordan makes the basket and is fouled by Frazier. 22 points for Mike Riordan, a former Knickerbocker. A well-balanced attack by the Baltimore Bullets today. It appears that we'll be talking with Mike Riordan and Phil Chenier, Bill Russell, before we leave the air.
Yeah, they both had very, very good games today. They've been the guys that hurt the Knicks the most today, I think. Although Archie Clark has 8 assists, he's done a pretty good job. I think that Phil and Mike have had just outstanding games.
Okay. Jackson for New York. 10 seconds to go in the game. 106-97. Phil Chenier from California.
Hardship.
In less than 24 hours, Baltimore has defeated New York twice.